Hello, I'm Qaisar, and today I'm going to tell you some important points for the ICSE 2024 examination mathematics. Before we start, आइए आपको एक शायर की दो लाइन सुनाता हूँ. शायर कहता है, किए जाओ कोशिश मेरे दोस्तों, किए जाओ कोशिश मेरे दोस्तों, अगर ताक में तुमने रख दी किताब तो क्या दोगे कल इम्तिहान में जवाब. न पढ़ने से बेहतर है पढ़ना जनाब, कि हो जाओगे एक दिन कामयाब. किए जाओ कोशिश मेरे दोस्तों, दुकान बंद करके रहा बैठ जो, तो दी गोया उसने कि लुटिया डुबो. न भागो कभी छोड़कर काम को, तवक्को तो है खैर जो हो सो हो. किए जाओ कोशिश मेरे दोस्तों, किए जाओ कोशिश मेरे दोस्तों. Okay, now let's start. ICSE 10 mathematics do's and don'ts I'm going to tell you. I'm going to share with you. What are the important points for writing down the examination? And you are going to write down examination of ICSE 2024 mathematics. Point number 1. Section A is compulsory. 3 questions for 40 marks. Section B, any 4 questions out of 7 questions you have to attempt. Point 2. In Section B, from Section B, all attempted answers are checked by the examiner, and then best 4 written in any order are taken. So extra question or questions can be attempted. It is up to you, but you can attempt extra question. Point 3. Reading time must be utilized to make the right choice of question from Section B and make oneself familiar with all the given data, because there are 7 questions and you are supposed to you have to attempt any 4 questions, so you have to make the right choice of question. That's important. Point 4. Student should read the question carefully so as to answer what is asked. Point 5. Student should read the questions carefully so as to avoid missing out the sub parts of the question, especially rounding off the digits, rounding off the answers. Point 6. Read the questions carefully so that you don't miss the tail questions. For example, in the question it is said, correct to 2 decimal places, correct to 2 significant figures, or to the nearest whole number, or to the nearest rupees. So all these things in the end of the question it's written, and you please read it carefully. Otherwise, if you're not rounding off the digit, or if you're not writing down to the nearest, suppose to the nearest rupee, so then you lose 1 mark. Point 7. Don't forget to answer the tail questions asked based on the construction. For example, one construction question is asked, you are doing the construction, you have done correctly, everything is right, you have shown all the arcs and everything, but there is one small question attached, and that is, write the length of the tangent. What is the length of the tangent? Or write the radius of the circle. and you know this, you can write it down, but because you didn't read the question carefully, so you missed it out. Alright. Point number 8. Rupees, if you are getting the answer in rupees, so you should write down up to 2 decimal places. For example, if you got 44.5, so you need to write down 44.50. You need to write down 44.50 up to 2 decimal places, rupees. Alright. Point number 9. Do not round off the numbers in the intermediate steps. Wait till the end, and finally you round off the number. Point 10. Marks are granted for correct substitution in the correct formula. No marks for only formula. Point 11. No half mark is granted. Point 12. Students should avoid selective study of topics. Point number 13. Avoid changing the order of sequence of question and numbering pattern. Now let me tell you, what does it mean? Avoid changing the order of sequence of questions and numbering pattern. The order of sequence of question, for example, you are doing question number 3, third question, A and B you attempted. Okay, now C you are not attempting. Fine. Question number 4 you attempted B and C. Now A you are not attempting here. Again now after 4, question number 6 you are doing only A part. Then again you are coming to question number 3 and you are doing only C part. Now again from 3 you are coming to question number 7 and you are doing all the 3 parts A, B and C. After doing 7 again you are coming back to question number 4. B and C already you have done, and now you are doing here A part. Alright. So 4 is here also, 4 is here also, 3 is here also, 3 is here also. So that is what we are saying. Avoid, I am not saying you can't do it, but I am saying you avoid changing the order of sequence of questions. Alright, so this avoid. Huh? And second thing is numbering system. Numbering system is, it's given in English numerals, so do not write down in Roman. Some students may do. For example, this question number 3, don't write down like this question number 3. Alright, question number 4, don't write down like this question number 4. Because it's given in English numerals. So don't change the numbering pattern, numbering system. 14, point 14, important. Handwriting should be neat and legible. What you are writing, we should be able to read it. आप भी खुद गलती कर देंगे. आपने 3 लिखा है, नेक्स्ट स्टेप में वो उसका शेप ऐसे आपने चेंज कर दिया है कि it looks like 2 and now you only copying 2. Though it is 3, but you are writing now 2 and the whole thing goes wrong. 15. Write the given data first and convert into the same units. All the information, all the given data, quantity should be in the same unit. For example, suppose one quantity is given in meter, one is given in centimeters. All quantity should be in the same system of unit and especially preferably in the SI system, that is in meters. Point 16, use log table to find square root of numbers. Point 17, write the answers in decimal with correct unit. Avoid skipping of steps. All the necessary steps must be clearly shown. Show working, and it's written in the even in the question paper also. If you read, it's written all working, including rough work, must be clearly shown and must be done on the same sheet as the rest of the answer. So, show working and rough working. If you are doing any rough work, that you should do on the same page. Where, for example, one question you are doing question number 1A. Alright, and this is the page. This is the page. Question and please write down question number 1 like this. This is the main character, the hero of the movie. Alright. So write down question number 1 like this. You write question Q only in the coordinate somewhere like this. Q1. I think you should write down like this. Question number 1. And then A sub question, A part. A part you are doing, B part you are doing, and suppose you have to do some working rough work. Don't do anything orally. What you're thinking, calculation, what you're doing orally, please put it on the paper. And that you can suppose this is your paper, page, so you can do the working here, or better you can draw a line here, and here you can do the working. In this area you can do the working. For this question, working is here. Huh? For this question, working is here, like that. That was point 18. Now point number 19. Use methods where lesser calculations are required. That depends on practice. You know different ways of doing a question. So use method where lesser calculations are required to get the final result. Don't beat about the bush. This happens sometimes. 20. Point 20. Instead of finding out volume of cone, see in mensuration, suppose it is given that one sphere is melted and recast into a smaller cone. So you have to find out the number of cones. So you don't find out the volume of sphere and volume of cone separately. Instead, you can write down n, the number of cones, n is equal to volume of the sphere upon volume of the cone. All right. Because it will become very easy. If suppose pi is coming, so pi is in the numerator also, pi is in the denominator also. You don't have to put pi is equal to 22 upon 7 or 3.14. They get cancelled. Point 21. The steps of working should be supported by valid reasons. Wherever there is a reason, please do write down reason and in a systematic way. Point 22. Reasons must be provided for all geometry problems. Give proper reason. So learn the statements of the theorems and properties. Theorems, the statement of the theorem we should know. In the ICSE, some few theorems are there where we have written without proof, but then the statement is required. If you are using that property in a question, so that statement, that reason, in the form of reason you have to give. So you should know the statement of the theorem and the properties. 23 point. All arcs must be visible in construction questions. Arcs should be visible, so you should use good quality pencil. And very carefully you please draw the arc and don't delete it. No, maybe it is small, maybe it is big also, don't delete it. Arcs, all the arcs must be visible in the construction questions. 24, and a very important point, 24, listen. Are you ready? Yes, now listen. Eyebrow method. Eyebrow method for drawing a line parallel to a given line is not accepted, not allowed. Alright. Eyebrow method for drawing a line parallel to a given line is not allowed. 25. Follow the scale if it is given. Otherwise, choose a suitable scale and write it on the graph. This I am talking about graphical question, for example, histogram or ogive, etc. 26. If you are drawing an ogive or a histogram, remember to write the scale, and even labeling of graph is important. X-axis, Y-axis, and other important things. Whatever the case may be. I don't want to go in detail. We don't have time. I have one lecture on histogram, where I'm giving you the details about the histogram, how to plot, and other important points that you can watch if you wish to. Point 27. Solve previous year's papers and specimen paper by the ICSE board. ICSE board has given a specimen question paper on its side. So you solve previous year's question papers, 2-3 years question papers, and the specimen paper provided by the ICSE board, and important is they should be evaluated by someone. So please get them evaluated. then only you will know where you are going wrong. Point 28, now another important point from the factor theorem, Riemann factor theorem. Long division, synthetic division, and there is one more, absorption method. All are accepted for finding the remaining factors after applying factor theorem. First you are applying factor theorem, you are getting one factor, and after that you find the remaining factors by long division method or by synthetic division method, and there is one more method that is called absorption method. So that is, and that's very easy, easier than these two. So all these methods are, each of these methods is accepted. 29. Working for matrix multiplication is necessary. Do not write down directly the first row and first column. You are multiplying the corresponding element, and then you are adding all these things you are doing already, and finally you are writing down 14. Suppose you got this sum 14 after multiplication, the row and column. No, you have to write down 2 multiplied by 2 plus 3 multiplied by minus 1. Show the working. It's important. Working for matrix multiplication is necessary. 30 point number 30. Ensure that while proving trigonometrical identities, a student should start with either left hand side, get right hand side, or you start with the right hand side and get left hand side. What is important, what I want to tell you is, important here is, you do not start both the sides simultaneously. Do not go ahead with both the sides simultaneously, no. Either you start with the left hand side and try to get the right hand side, or you start with the right hand side and try to get the left hand side. Alright, but don't start both the sides simultaneously. Yes, there is one way of proving the trigonometric identities. You start left hand side, you are getting something you got. Suppose you simplified left hand side and you got, suppose, sec theta. Now you simplify right hand side also and you get sec theta. So left hand side is sec theta, right hand side is also sec theta. Left hand side you are getting sec theta, and right hand side also you are getting sec theta. That means left hand side is equal to right hand side. That is another way of proving the trigonometrical identity. If it's difficult to reach right hand side from left hand side, or if it is difficult to reach left hand side from right hand side, vice versa. 31. Necessary sample space should be written down for probability question. Write down the sample space, even the events also. If the question is like that, you can list the elements, please do that. Answer in lowest form you have to write down. Suppose you got the answer 3 upon 6, so don't leave here. You have to write down 3 1 3, 3 2 6. So 1 upon 2 you should write down. It should be in lowest form. 32. Students should draw a level diagram for heights and distance problems. For heights and distance problems, diagram is important. Diagrams are important. You should draw a diagram, a level diagram, and follow the labeling given in the question. If they are saying that AB is the pole and CD is the building, so please follow those labelings. Diagram is important. Point 33. In Ojai, the plotted points must be joined freehand. You are plotting the points on the graph. So all those points you have to join. So that you have to do freehand without using ruler, without using scale. Don't use a scale. It has to be done freehand. Freehand you have to join like this. And in Ojai, the plotted point must be joined freehand and not with ruler. Draw perpendicular lines to get the values of the medians or the lower quartile, etc. So those perpendicular lines are important. Right? So please do draw those perpendicular lines. 34. In histogram, to find mode, draw the 3 guiding lines. Those 3 guiding lines are very, very important. Then only you should write down the value of the mode if it has been asked. So the 3 guiding lines, do you know the 3 guiding lines? Suppose your histogram is like this. Alright. So these are the three guiding lines. One this, and one this. These are the three guiding lines. So these three guiding lines are important if you're doing a question from histogram and you are going to find out the mood. All right. So I hope everything is very, very clear. And all the best. Good wishes for your exam. Thank you so much. Thanks.